The first of the two jazz waltzes that we're going to play, this is the first one. It's number 25 on the poster, and this is the one in 3. We're going to be really showing the threeness of this groove, the 3 beats to a bar, as opposed to the one we're going to do next, which will show the oneness of it all. Sounds a little funny, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. So we'll be playing all 3 beats in the bass drum. Let's see what this sounds like when we play it all together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. All things working together. This still has that forward motion. And the 3 even quarters in the bass drum, they just keep going along. They're not bothering anybody. They're happy little quarter notes, nice and soft. You know, they're not getting in the way of the ride cymbal. We have a 2 on the hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. To be sure, when you get comfortable with this hi-hat opens up a lot of possibilities. You can be playing at a lot of different spots. You listen to great jazz drummers play jazz waltzes, you'll hear all sorts of internal rhythms that are very inspiring and a lot of fun. This is a great one to get you started. And it has that feeling of 3 from the bass drum. The bass would be walking with us in 3. And the ride cymbal has a nice neutral feeling. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Still based on triplets. Remember, we're not doing that straight 8th note stuff right now. We're doing triplets. And that's it. In its splendorous glory, the jazz waltz in 3. Now let's see what it sounds like with some music at 2 different tempos. Now let's talk about that jazz waltz I was talking about before, the one that's in 1. Unlike the previous jazz waltz where we played 3 beats per bar, we are now going to just be playing on 1 in the bass drum. And the left hand comping is going to be phrased around that 1. It's going to really help show that this is not 3, but rather 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It gives a completely different feeling. Try to understand that before you start to play it. Conceptualize that. 1, not 1, 2, 3. You want 1, 2, 3 in the last one. This is just a 1. Let's offer 1 to our audience, nice and big. Okay, let's see what happens. A 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. It's nice and light. It moves forward without being, aggressive. A lot of people think when you play jazz waltzes in 1, you got to play them at a blinding tempo. That's not true. Waltzes of the different flavors that we talked about, the 3 and the 1, can really live in different ranges, all sorts of different tempos. This is a nice slow 1. To be sure, this gets up there pretty quick. And actually, the second one of the 2 examples lives at a pretty nice tempo, so you can see what that feels like to play it at a nice, brisk oneness. Give it a shot. Here's 2 examples. We've arrived at the world section of the groove poster. Strap yourself in, this one's going to be a wild ride. And the first one is disco. Yes, that's right, disco. A groove that has its own name. And why did we put it in the groove poster? Because this groove refuses to die. It won't die. People have tried for many years and it won't die. It just keeps resurfacing in different places. It becomes lounge music. It becomes whatever you want it to be. But the simple pea soup, which is this, pea soup, that won't go away. It never will. It's here to stay, and it's time to accept it. 4 on the floor, 2 and 4 on the snare drum, deep, tight, and absolutely consistent. Let's see what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. You can also play this one without playing all the 8th notes. Let the foot close on the downbeats and just play the upbeats. It will look like this. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Of course, this groove sounds much better if you wear bell-bottoms, a nylon shirt, and a lot of gold chains. But hey, that's just me. Let's see what one of these sounds like with some music. Here we go. Groove 28 is the Swiss Army knife of grooves. This little groove, this little nothing of a groove, can go into so many different places because it just has the basic elements of downbeat and upbeat and all 4 quarter notes on the hi-hat. And it can be a polka, it can be a rag, it can be a Broadway thing, it could be a country thing, it could be a heavy metal thing, it could be a ska thing, it could be a speed punk thing, it could be whatever you want it to be, whatever you need it to be, because it's just one of those great grooves. It just works. It's so simple to play. Let's look at the moderately slow. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's it in all its glory. A little faster, it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's how you play it and where you use it that will determine what it sounds like. And the next two musical examples are a perfect illustration of that. The first one is kind of slow, and it's like a little Broadway two-beat kind of thing. You know, a little happy, bouncy thing you might play in a musical or something like that. Sounds old, it's from an older school, and it's just really nice to play. Very, very nice. The second one is more like a country thing. It's got some banjo on it and a bunch of guitars, and it's more, you know, in your face, a lot more energetic. You'll see what I mean. And again, use this as a base and just start to mutate the groove from there and have some fun. See you later. Groove 29, second line groove from New Orleans. New Orleans drumming is great. It's really, really got its own kind of thing happening, its own signature. It's really cool. I'm really into that kind of music. I listen to a lot of it. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of style you're talking about. Cajun shuffles, Zydeco music, second line, all this stuff, this New Orleans drumming is really, really, really fun to play. And it really comes out. It's very joyous. The whole second line thing is kind of interesting because you can tell that it's a very happy thing. But it comes from a funeral procession. They were very, you know, very understandably somber going to the funeral. Then they were coming back. It was a big party broke out. Big party. And the drummers were in the second line, and that's how the story I heard, that's how it became the second line New Orleans groove. No matter what the story is, the groove is absolutely phenomenal. Let's play it now. And it's got a definite swing thing happening. If you play this straight, you're going to sound silly. Don't do it. Here's what the whole thing sounds like. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when you play that, if you play it straight, it would sound like. Not exactly what I would call a deep pocket groove, now is it? No. So you swing it, and you line that bass drum up with those accents, and then you get that kind of fat lilt going on. And I like to put my hi-hat on the eighth notes, the upbeat eighth notes. So it'll be 1 and 2 and ready and go and. This one is going to let you go in a lot of different directions. And when you listen to second line drumming, you're going to have an absolutely phenomenal time. You'll see on these two examples where I get pulled in all sorts of different places with the band. And I'm pulling them, they're pulling me. It's just a big old party. Let's give it a shot. Okay, let's take a trip to Jamaica. Let's talk about a reggae groove. Just take a look at one little variation of a groove right now. Remember, there are a lot more. This one is pretty self-explanatory, except I want to make sure that you understand that this can be played straight or with a swing. I prefer the swing, so we're going to play it that way. Here we go. 1, 2, just the hi-hat, and 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now I'm going to keep that going, and I'm going to put the one drop in. The one drop is on 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now the left hand. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. See how the 1s and 3s are in parentheses on the hi-hat line? Because you can leave those out. You really can. You can leave those out and they're going to sound fine. You'll see what I mean when we play this. I have a tendency to leave those out. And you can see how the groove settles into different places at different tempos. The only way to really experience any of this music is to listen to it. So go listen to maybe Bob Marley to start with, and then you can branch out from there. So check out some reggae grooves. Let's see what this sounds like at 2 different tempos. Okay, let's play a great, happy, bouncy groove. This is a calypso groove. This has also become very popular with jazz musicians. You remember how I remember jazz musicians love to take grooves, make them their own, kind of twist them around and really do things with them? Well, calypso is no exception. Let's play this groove. Now you can see I'm going to be playing on a snare drum exclusively on this, moving my right hand and left hand around to these toms, and I'm going to get a lot of muted sounds. You know, the snares are off. I have my hand on the drum, right in the center, which gives me all these different colors. And I'm going to use that to my advantage because I'm going to move all around. And I'm going to use my stick click. It'd be a good time to talk about the technique of a stick shot right now. See that? That's got to sound nice and thick. We don't want this. It's not going to really do anybody any good. You're not going to hear that. And if you have too much wood, it starts to sound like, you know, just dead and lifeless. There's a sweet spot right in there. Hear it? Goes, pops right out. I'm going to get that sound. Okay, now let's see what this thing sounds like. I'll play just the hand part first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, E, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 3, 4, 2, and 3, 4, E, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Now the feet, they just keep driving. The bass drum's going to be on the quarter note, and the hi-hat's going to do an interesting part that we're actually going to use quite a bit in the world section. It's going to be an open-close with a foot splash. So it's going to be closed, open, closed, open, closed, open. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You're going to want to get that technique down because that is really, really cool and very, very useful for a lot of different things. Now, let's do this again, and I'll put the feet in. You can see what the whole thing sounds like together. Not too fast. 1, 2, ready, and. And all the notes that are circled in the groove, feel free to play either a stick shot or maybe a muffled sound. You can kind of mix it around a little bit, make it percolate. And that's the thing about a good calypso groove. It percolates, which hopefully you'll notice in this next musical example. Here we go. We've arrived at 32 on the poster, and 32 is a soca, soul calypso, soca, soul calypso, short. So you can see, just by looking at the groove on the poster, it's got a lot of stuff going on in there. But I'll tell you, it's not that hard to play, and it's an undeniably joyous, fun groove. You know, out of the Caribbean, just like the calypso, and it just feels great to play. Drummers love this one. I love this one too. It's a lot of fun to play. And the hi-hat is kind of like, dare I say, a glorified disco part, where we had just the pea soup happening on the disco. Now we kind of have, for lack of a better word, pee-pee soup. Pee-pee soup. Because that's what it is. It's 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Like that. That's all it is. 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. That's really all it is, that part. You know, it's not that big a deal. It's kind of easy to play. And when you just want to try to avoid when you close the hat, just like with the disco, you don't want to flam on the way down. Yay, that's a groove killer. So you don't want to. Ugh, that's bad. Okay, so now let's put all the parts in and see what this thing sounds like. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And the and of 2 and the and of 4 are usually rim shots, so I'll demonstrate that. 3 and 4 and. You hear that pop? Nothing like that pop. You get that rim shot sound happening. Isn't that a great groove? It just bounces along. It just feels great to play. Now I'm going to show you a musical example using a soca, and then when I'm done, I want you to try it with me. Here you go. It's time to go to Brazil, an incredible country of amazing music and musicians. The amount of great music coming out of Brazil cannot be overstated. It's absolutely incredible. And we're going to talk about some of the basic beats that Brazil and Brazilian musicians are known for. This has a great long history that deserves your attention and study. So if you get inspired by some of my Brazilian examples, definitely check out some real Brazilian music. You will not be disappointed. It is very uplifting, life-affirming music. You'll just love it. Let's play a bossa nova. This is so beautiful to play. It's just airy and open, and it's just, when you close your eyes and you play it, you just think of the ocean or something like that. I'm serious to do that, by the way. When you play a groove, after you get past the notes, and we all play, here are the notes, and Andy, and all that stuff, then you start to make